You know, no matter how beautiful a woman was, or no matter how good the love and sex or whatever it could be, we never looked at that. We only looked at the bottom line. You know, get out there and give me some money. And that's how I became so strong. I credit a lot of the game that I got from him in that cell that made me, the person that I am in the game. Because a lot of times I could have fell in love with them bras. I could have been like Sam. I could have been, a simp, and be in love with these bras, and be mad when they leave. But when they left, he told me, when a bitch leave, give her a Chinese name, one gone, Su Wang.
It's gonna hurt for me to say this, but it's coming from a heart. It's been a long time coming, and we done been fell apart. I really wanna work this out, but I don't think it's gonna change. I do, but you don't. Think it's best we go our separate ways. And tell me why I should stay in this relationship when I'm hurt. And baby, I ain't happy, baby. Plus so many other things I gotta deal with. I think that you should let her.
You can go anywhere to get the lies, but I know you came here to get the truth. Welcome to the Alphasphere.
Welcome to the Alphasphere, the only place on the planet that's totally engulfed in positivity and totally submerged in alpha energy. I'm your host, Dr. BOA.
Anytime you see a man talk a woman who left him into coming back to him, things will never be the same again. Hey, what's good? It's your man, Dr. BOA. Before we go any further, let me thank everyone for subscribing to the channel and all the support, all the new patrons, all the new channel members. Everybody who's supporting, I appreciate it, man. Been grinding hard on this thing, and finally, we're seeing the fruits of our labor, but are we gonna stop now? Nah. So go ahead and subscribe so you can be alerted whenever I come through and drop it off again. But let me tell you some reasons why any man who talks a woman who left him back into his life ends up leaving the situation anyway, or ends up staying long enough for the woman to leave him again. Let's get into these things. The one thing you must understand is this: a woman doesn't leave until she emotionally checks out. A woman can be with a man who treats her terribly. He can put hands on her. He can sleep with all her friends. He can do many things. He can sit at home playing Madden with Do Dirty all day while she goes out and makes the bread to pay the bills and take care of him. And she'll stay in that situation until she emotionally checks out. Once a woman emotionally checks out, she leaves. Leaves. Leaving has a definition that many men overlook. Leaving means she doesn't want to be there. Once she leaves, she's emotionally checked out. And let me tell you what that means. Because I know some beta male sitting Johnny gonna come in here and say,
well, Dr. BOA, same way she emotionally checked out, she can come emotionally check right on back in. All you gotta do is promise her that you'll give her the moon and stars, and you'll climb the mountain and swim the sea for her, and she'll come right on back. You just gotta be a man of your word and get to climbing the mountains, Dr. BOA. You don't know nothing about women.
Unsubscribe.
Okay, go ahead, unsubscribe. But before you go, sucker, let me tell you this. Once a woman emotionally checks out, she never checks back in with the same man again. And maybe not with any other man ever again. Even if two people get back together, there are men who have been divorced by the same woman twice. Why? Because he believed that he had talked her into checking back in emotionally. But what you have to understand is words don't tie a woman in emotionally. Energy connection ties a woman in emotionally. Once that energy field is broken, she's gone. And the crazy thing is, many men believe a woman when she says, I'm back in, even though the interaction is different, even though the way she talked to him has changed, even though the way their intimacy schedule has changed. Everything has changed, but he believes that he got his woman back. You can never get that woman back because that woman is gone. The woman you met is gone for good. She's in Oz with no heels to click. The third thing, she wants you to earn her trust back while constantly being badgered about why she doesn't trust you. She wants you to be there and deal with her outbursts and deal with her attacks and deal with her anger and deal with all of that. But at the same time, she wants you to be emotionally engaged enough to focus on gaining her trust back. A man realizes that that's not possible, but you should have never assumed it was possible. When you do something that causes a woman emotional turmoil, emotional stress, she will not be able to get over that ever. So if you got a woman right now and you done put her through all types of things and lied to her and cheated on her and did all that, man, and acted like you wasn't going to do this and probably had a baby on her or gave her STD or did all of these crazy things that men do when they can't control their lust. Slept with her friends or her family members. You have to understand this. That woman will never have any of those feelings for you again. She will never believe that you're a man of your word again. She will never take your word over someone else's word again. Someone can come and tell a lie on you about being with you, and she's just going to believe that. And some of these women have been through these scenarios with other men. So when you meet her, she'll just take a stranger's word over yours. I've had this happen. I've had a woman who had been so hurt by other men that someone came and just told her a ridiculous lie. And she believed it and wanted me to convince her that they weren't lying. And you know me, the Alpha Dun Dada, I'm not finna convince no woman of nothing. I just ain't into the convincing business. I'm not going to convince her of anything about her. I'm not going to convince her of anything about me. I am who I am. If a woman is meant to be in my life and she's a blessing to my life, I don't have to do any of those things. If she's a curse to my life, then yeah, I will. So I want you men to remember that as well. If a woman is a blessing to your life from the Most High, you don't have to do any of those tricks and jumping through hoops and, diving through, flaming hoops with gasoline draws on. You don't have to do any of that. At a certain point, she isn't worth the trouble. And you just want to make things amicable because you know the split is inevitable. So it's not that a man all the time just says, okay, I'm going to get her back and I know it's not going to work. No, a man, he initially wants to try. A man initially wants to try to repair the thing, but it doesn't take long for you to realize that the anger this woman has towards you, the way she's disrespecting you now. And I know some butthurt female gonna come here and say,
well, she wouldn't disrespect him if he hadn't done all of that.
The bottom line is once he's done all of that, he don't have to stay there and take her disrespect. The relationship is over. Even if he takes her disrespect, the relationship is still over. You can let a woman disrespect you for 15 years. The relationship that you had before everything hit the fan is over. There's no amount of disrespect that she's going to be able to do. And she says, okay, now we're even. Because when you let her disrespect you, then she's really going to be looking at you like you're ridiculous. Because you know what? She knows that in the beginning, you weren't the type of man who would take that disrespect from her or any other woman. But now you're accepting this disrespect because you want a woman so bad who doesn't even want to be with you. All of these things are festering in her brain. So yes, a man at a certain point just realized she isn't worth the trouble. As a man, you're not going to let a woman disrespect you every day. See, this is the thing. If you knock down one of her friends, you didn't do that every day. If you knock down one of her family members, you didn't do that every day. As foul as those things are, you didn't do that every day. If you were knocking down a young tenor somewhere, you didn't do that every day. In this scenario, this woman wants to disrespect you every day. And you're supposed to be okay with it. Why? Not because she wants you to, but because you invited her back in. You invited a woman who felt this way toward you back into your life. And it doesn't take long to realize that it's over. It wasn't salvageable. It was irreconcilable. The fifth reason that a man would leave the woman that he had talked back into his life after she left him is the power play of being the one who ended it. There's a power play in being the one who ends a relationship. Whoever ends the relationship, the other person got left. There is a definite power shift in the dynamic from leaving someone and being left by someone. Definite power dynamic shift. It is immediate. It is an immediate power dynamic shift. It's a different emotional response to leaving someone versus being left. Totally different. When you leave someone, you don't feel inadequate. When you get left, you feel inadequate. When you leave someone, you don't ask yourself, what did I do? When you get left, you do. When you leave someone, you don't say, I should have left them first, because you did. When you get left, you say, man, I should have been left them. See what I mean? Power play of ending it. Now, this isn't every man's scenario because most men, truth be told, end up staying with the woman until she leaves them again. Or until she starts doing unthinkable things. having side dudes and letting them come to the house and pick her up. There are some guys, man, once you go down this path where you let a woman start treating you badly because of something that you did or something that, you made her feel, and you let her start treating you any kind of way she wants to, man, your manhood and masculinity will suffer until they're just gone. And see, a lot of times these scars don't come up until you start having issues with the woman. And then, the leftover damage from that comes and she overreacts and overresponds to everything you do. She treats you like you're the one who did the things that the last guy did. I want you men to think about that. Whenever you beg a woman back into your life, you're never going to be happy with that woman. And these are 6 reasons why. Y'all comment down below and let me know what you think about this topic, man. I look forward to hearing what you men have to say. I'm out.
Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Simps claiming that they pimps, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Suckers claiming to be players, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Tricks acting like they max, but they not though. Alphas up, betas down, it's the motto. Betas claiming to be alpha, but they not though.
Now, I'm not gonna tell you, man, that you shouldn't value your woman at all. A woman does have value, but you can't overvalue her.